So today we're going to make guacamole. It's a pretty simple recipe, but I'm hoping maybe I can give you a couple kitchen hacks that'll make it easier for you when you try this at home. This is all you need. Avocados, jalapeno pepper, red onion, lime, cilantro, and sea salt. So you start with avocados. When you get your avocados at the grocery store, they're usually rock hard. So keep in mind you need to buy them a couple days in advance. You want them to be a little soft, like firm, but a little give to them. And one trick is watch the nub. I don't know if you can see that. When this little nub starts growing out of the avocado, it means it's about ripe. So keep an eye on that. These are all, this one's a good example. Can you see how that nub is just starting to move out? So to cut your avocado, I always start at the skinnier end, and you want to cut straight through it, down and hit the pit, and then just go around the avocado, and then you just twist it apart. Look at, these are perfectly ripe. Awesome. To get the pit out, you use the end of your knife, the heel, and you stick it in there and you just give it a little twist and it comes right out. Let's do one more. So we're gonna make a pretty big batch. We're gonna do 3. All the way around, twist it to open. That's just some peel. Again, the heel of the knife, get it in there, give it a little twist. Now to get the meat out of the skin, I just take a spoon and run it along the inside of that skin and it pops right out. It's really easy. Now it's time to mash it. I like to leave some chunks. It's all personal preference on how you like your avocado, but these are the tools you can use. A sturdy whisk, one that's not gonna bend, a pastry cutter, I like to use this one, or you can always just mash with a fork. So for the pastry cutter, I just kind of get in there and smush them down, but still leave some chunks. Okay, now I'm going to use my whisk to give it a little stir, just to kind of mush it a little bit, but there's still some big chunks. That is looking perfect. So we're going to set this aside and work on our other ingredients. We're going to start with the red onion. We just need a little bit of red onion, maybe about 1/3 of this guy. It's pretty big, so I'm just going to take this slice off, and I'm just going to give it a little, oh, I'm already making a mess. A tight little dice. I'm gonna lose a finger one of these days. Not my best knife skills today. Just try to get them as small as you can, or chunky. You know, it's personal preference, however you like your guacamole. So we'll put those into a smaller bowl. Next, we're going to do the jalapeno, and I'm going to use probably about, I don't know, 1/2 of this. The thing about jalapenos is the heat is in the membrane and the seeds. So that's where all your heat is. This is my hack. Put a plastic bag over your hand that's going to touch the pepper, because you do not want to cross-contaminate and rub your eyes or another part of your body after you've dealt with this membrane and the seeds. So I just peel it out. Get the baggie. So now you see we have almost all the membrane. We left a couple seeds for flavor. And I'm just gonna, again, try to give this guy a nice little dice. How spicy do you want it, Ing?
Not that spicy.
Not that spicy? All right, we're gonna add the jalapeno in with our red onion. Next, we're gonna do cilantro. Again, this is personal preference. We love cilantro, so I'm gonna put this whole bunch in. Get some of that. I don't even know what that is. I washed it earlier and dried it, so we're just gonna chop it up. Okay, so we've got the bunch of cilantro pretty much cut, stems and all. We like it, we like all parts of it, so that smells amazing. We're gonna add this to our red onion and jalapeno. And next, we're gonna add some lime. Smell that. I think we're gonna do the juice of 2 limes. We kind of are just gonna have to taste it and see how it goes. There's a couple different ways to do lime. I'm gonna use a citrus juicer. Okay, so pulp side down. Give it a good squeeze. Gives you all the juice and some of the pulp, but no seeds. So if you don't have a citrus juicer, you can use a reamer, or you can just use your hands. I like to put a fork in it. It just gives you something to use for stability or pressure in order to squeeze, but you got to make sure you don't get any seeds. That's why I'm doing it in this measuring cup, so I could fish them out if I needed. And the reamer, citrus reamer, you just kind of get in there and get after it, and you get the good juice and you get some pulp. This lime juice also helps the guacamole from turning brown. Now it won't last like overnight, but it should last a couple hours at least without turning brown. So we're just gonna add that second lime into the cilantro, red onion, and jalapeno. So we're gonna add the cilantro, onion, jalapeno into the avocado and just kind of give it a few stirs. Again, we want it to be kind of chunky, so I don't want to over stir it. We'll give it a little sea salt. This is a coarse grind sea salt. We're going to give it a little taste, see how we did. So good. Perfect. Now, instead of just chips, I'm going to give you a couple healthy options. This is an English cucumber. You don't need to peel it. I'm going to cut it on the bias, and we're going to see if it'll work with the mandolin. Oh yeah. You gotta be careful with this. Anyway, you get the idea. Some nice cucumber slices. We also have some carrot slices that I did earlier with the mandolin. We have some peppers. And this is one of my favorite things to have with guacamole. This is a jicama. We're gonna cut the skin off of it. Now I'm just gonna cut it in half and then cut some chip size, oh, sorry. Oh, that was a little thick. You can buy these in the grocery store, like in sticks, but sometimes they taste a little like funky, not as crisp as these. Okay. You can't do it where you can see. Very awkward. There's our guac. And, of course, some chips. So good.